Hey YouTube, and welcome to this episode of the Gunman Raw. So today we've got this Nissan Juke, and pretty straightforward job. Quarter panel, blend on the rear door, a little blend on that top section on the tailgate, and a rear bumper. So I've actually already painted this car before. I painted it must have been 2 or 3 months ago now. I actually did the front bumper, and the color was a bit of a prick last time, and it was a little bit less of a prick this time because I had a bit of experience. I knew what I was in for, but that's why I blended the guards. Like, it's pretty rare for me to blend guards for the sake of a bumper, but I did on this one. So as I say, like, I painted the front bumper and just sort of, I can just see that blend there, but even in saying that, like, that took me like 4 hours to get the color even that good. This time it definitely didn't take that long. It might have taken me only, I don't know, 3 or 4 different spray out cards, so definitely wasn't right straight off the bat. But what I did this time is I mixed the color, because there was only one variant, and yeah, so I didn't really have much to choose from. So I mixed that up, and then I sprayed it out, and then locked it down with a coat of 2-pack clear, because I had some clear left over from the previous job. And then I kept it. So I put a label on it and I kept it so that next time this car comes in, if no, my luck, I'll probably never see this color again. But, you know, if it does, I've got it there. So it's handy to have a little bit of a color library. I'm slowly building one up, more so with the trouble colors, to be honest. I mean, if the colors really, if there's a color chip already through PPG's color bank, I'm not going to bother keeping my own color card. But for, yeah, colors like this where they don't have one, the 3-layer colors, the candies, all that kind of thing, it's worth sort of building up a little bit of a library. But yeah, with PPG, they're a bloody funny system sometimes. Like, you get these colors that are like really common, and they don't even have a spray out for it. It's like 070, one of the most common colors. Like, Toyotas are the bloody, as far as I know, I could be wrong, I think they're the world's biggest car manufacturer. I think they are. If they're not, they're bloody close, right? And so 070 is like the most common. I think it's the only white pearl they do. Now, it's probably not the only one they do, but you're pretty much guaranteed if there's a white pearl Toyota, it's gonna be 070. Yet in PPG, they don't even have that color sprayed out. It's like bizarre. Yet you go to Standox, man, they've probably got about 5 different spray outs. They've got 15 different variants, you know, so yeah, it's just strange. And then you'll get these obscure colors which you've never seen, like you'll only see once in your career, and they'll have 5 spray outs for them. It's weird. But yeah, like, another thing I've noticed about PPG is, like, sometimes you'll have like 5 spray outs, and none of them are like perfect, you know what I mean? It's a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. What are you gonna do? Yeah, it's definitely not my favorite paint system, but I'm happy in this shop, you know. I am bigger picture, I've got no issues using it. Oh, another thing, on the topic of PPG, something that I never used to have to do is bring the clear in the booth. The Standox clear that we use, that was, man, all year round. Well, over there in Perth anyway. It might be different over here in the colder weather in Melbourne, where I'm living now. But yeah, in the colder weather, this clear gets a bit gluggy, and I guess especially this time of year, because it's spring, it's a little bit up and down. So I did check my clear there before I came in the booth. I mixed it up and I checked it with the thermometer, and it was sitting at 17 degrees. So what we'll do is do our masking, get our base coat down, and then I'll take it out and check the temperature and check the viscosity. So they say, and I mentioned this in yesterday's video, but they say you should be aiming for something like, I think it's, yeah, 18 to 20 seconds through a DIN 4 cup. So I've actually got myself a viscosity cup. I might even show you guys that stage, why not? When we get up to clear coat, I'll take you in the paint room and show you how I use the viscosity cup. It's very straightforward, really. You just put it through a cup and you time it. Got a stopwatch app on my phone. And just time how fast it goes through. If it's much above 20, just put a dash more reducer in. As I say, like, it's something that I haven't been using. Like, I've never really used regularly. It's something that they taught us how to do at trade school. I've always known they existed, but I never really had to use them. But as I say, it's probably worth doing, you know. I'll probably get to the point in summer when it's really hot where I know exactly what I'm going to be able to expect, you know. But as I say, it's sort of this time of year when weather's a bit up and down. I noticed like some of my jobs are coming up really nice, and then I was mixing the clear up exactly the same, and then the next time it'd be coming up a bit peely, so a little bit inconsistent. So that's what I'm trying to do, is just increase the consistency of my jobs. And that's one thing that we've got to do in this trade. Like as a spray painter, you've just got to, as much as it might sound a bit repetitive, you just got to repeat the same procedure, you know. So I guess on one hand, my videos will eventually get repetitive because I'm doing the same thing, you know. So I guess my videos are going to be doing the same thing. But in saying that, thanks everyone for watching. I've been pretty happy with the way this channel's been going lately. Doing the daily vids. One part, I'm kind of surprised how many people are interested in watching me work and talk shit. But on the other hand, I'm very happy with it. It's amazing, really. Life's a journey, you know. Like if I wasn't talking to you guys making this video now, I would be listening to a podcast. And yeah, I'm sort of, you know, expanding my mind and learning things, and yeah, it's good to, I guess, if one thing that I've gotten a little bit better at, I think anyway, in recent times, is to deflate your ego a little bit, and just realize, I guess the more you know, the more you know you don't know. I know that's an old saying, but it's very true. Yeah, you got to be careful that you don't get too arrogant and think that you know everything, because yeah, I mean, if I look back at myself, right, when I first started making these videos, I'd look back at him, right, if it was someone else, I'd say, look at this guy, man, he doesn't even do this, he doesn't do that, you know what I mean? But if you had have asked me at that time, like, I'd say, oh yeah, I'm an above average painter. But now I'd look back at him and say, man, you should do this, 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 and this, you know. But me back then would have said, shove off, man, I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Cracks myself up sometimes. So what else to talk about? We're masking. Yeah, I've always found it hard to narrate masking, or to, like, in my videos. I think most of you guys know that, but on the other hand, like, it seems to be that there's lots of people that gain a lot from my masking techniques and videos, but I just don't know what else I can say about it, if you know what I mean. Yeah, the success of this Raw channel is, I guess, proof. And look, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you just tune in for the shit that I say, you know, like sort of like a podcast type thing. I was listening to, I think it was Lex Friedman, and he had Joe Rogan on his podcast. I was listening to it yesterday, and Joe Rogan, man, like, he's got the biggest podcast in the world now, right? And when he was early on, like, he was getting 2,000 views, if that, per episode, you know. And some guy's telling him, he's like, oh man, you got to cut them down, you got to cut your videos down. Like, there were 3 or 4 hour videos sometimes, 3, 4, 5 hour videos, him just sitting on the couch talking with his mates, getting high, getting drunk and getting stoned. And someone's like, oh, you got to be cutting them down, cut your videos down. And he's like, no, you know, he just kept doing his thing. And next thing you know, that guy that was telling him to make his videos shorter, he's making long form videos just like Joe Rogan now, you know. So, oh, here's the boss watching me. Where are we going to put this? Sometimes I like to put them there, but I don't want the overspray. Might even just put it up over here. I got my boss watching me. Nah, he's gone now. Nah, they're all good with me making the videos though. My bosses and that, they're all good. He meets people that sometimes figure out that I work for him, and they're interested in the video. So which way is up? That's up. I don't know. Probably doesn't really matter, but I'm gonna put colour over this whole thing. Anyway, next up we're gonna be prep soling. I'll be putting my gloves on. So yeah, I mean, I guess talking about that Joe Rogan, like sometimes it is good to just be like, no, like this is how I want to do it and I'm just going to do it that way. But also on the other hand, if you do too much of that and you don't listen to other people's advice, then you can miss out on good things, you know what I mean? Life's about balance, isn't it? Anyway, so here we've got to do a little bit of fine line tape. I can already hear the keyboard warriors. What the hell are you doing, man? Everything has to be done perfect. Who do you think you are masking up a tail light? Where is my prep silence out here? This video might end up going a little bit over the... So you know what, I might even just call it a masking video. We might do that. I think we'll break it up because, as I've said in previous videos, I sort of like to keep my videos to around that 20 minutes, and we're probably, I don't know, I'm just guessing, probably already not far off 10 minutes as it is here. So I might just do masking video for this one, masking, prep sole, we'll tack rag it too, and then the next video we'll do base and clear coat. And I'll flip the rag over to a clean section when I'm going back over the blends again. The microfibers do a very, very good job at prep soling, I tell you what. They don't leave any dust or lint behind, but I still do like to go over the top of it with a tack rag, sorry. Yeah, this one here was like a freebie dent there, and I just told the boss, said, man, like last time I remember this color, it was a bit of a prick, so please give me a blend. He's like, yep, just blend it, man. So here we are. Yeah, there's a little bit of a chip there, but I'm not even going to fix it because I don't want any color. I did spend a little bit extra time on the prep on this bumper just to make sure very solid prep. I just want to keep the color right down there. As I say, for whatever reason, like there's something about blues in PPG, it's not their strong point. They don't cover very well, and they actually change a lot in the way that you apply them. Like when I was color matching this, I did 2 different sections on the spray out card, and just slightly different application, and the color difference is massive in just how you apply the base coat. So go with this air blower, tack rag. I must say I was a bit surprised last time at how much of a difference the putting the clear in the booth made. So it went from 17 degrees to 22 degrees. So yeah, I don't know, I was expecting it not to be as much, but in saying that, it had probably half an hour at 30 degrees. So today we're just going to be continuing on from yesterday's video on this Nissan Juke. So yeah, yesterday we just did the masking stage. We masked it up, prep soled it, and then gave it a tack rag. And I decided to cut it into a second video just so that video didn't get too long. Daily Gunman vids, mate, loving it. Whoop whoop. So the colour was a little bit of a prick, and I knew it was going to be because, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, I've sprayed this exact car before. I sprayed the front bumper, and the colour was so bad that I had to blend the guards. Like, that's very rare. So for anyone who works in Australian body shops,
they'll know that it's very rare for us to do guard blends or even quarter panel blends for the sake of a bumper. But that's how bad it was. I just wasn't quite confident that the colour was going to be good enough to go edge to edge, so I blended it. So knowing that, when this job came in again, this time I just said, look, I want to, because there was like a freebie dent there. They just did it for the owner, because you don't want to go and paint over it. So they just did it, and I'm like, man, I really don't want to put my colour edge to edge up here. I said, can I have a blend? And he's like, yeah, just do it. So yeah, I mean, being that it's a freebie, we've already given them a free dent fix. We're giving them a free blend on the top. So obviously they don't want to go to the extent of pulling tail lights out. It's a freebie little blend anyway. Anyway, on with the colour. Hey, this colour's actually covering pretty damn good. Better than the last blue that I did in PPG. That was atrocious. That's fine, that's covering just like any other colour. And here I want to keep that colour. Look, to be honest, this time the colour's actually not that bad. But I still want to keep it away from there because that goes edge to edge here and it's a big flat surface. So still, I just want to keep it away. You might notice here that I've got my clear coat warming up in the booth. It's still a pretty miserable cold day today. It's windy, it's raining, all that beautiful Melbourne weather. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do is I'll probably take you guys out after we finish doing the base coat and I'll show you how I use the viscosity cup. I'll turn you off in between coats anyway. Alright, second coat. Same as always. 20 psi, so lower it by 5 psi. Half a turn in on the fluid. It's actually taken quite a while to dry in between coats today. It must be raining outside. I don't know, it must be because they've even, oh no, the door's open, but I don't know if you can see from there, but it's all grey and miserable. Alright, now we just got one coat left. One coat of base coat left. I'll see you when we're ready for the last coat. Alright, here we are, same thing on the last coat. We're up to the last coat now. Half a turn in on the fluid, 5 psi. And I do get some people asking every now and then, like, would you spray solvent like that? And no, I never sprayed solvent like that. And I probably wouldn't. I would never spray Sando Blue like this. I guess with Sando Blue, like, it's a one visit system, so there is no drying in between coats. And yeah, I mean, I haven't used things like thickens, but I can't see why you wouldn't be able to spray thickens like this, because from what I can gather, it's kind of a similar system. It's a put a coat on, let it dry, put a coat on, let it dry. Let us know if you use auto waste from thickens and you spray it this way. But anyway, I'm going to go out and check the viscosity on this, so let's go and have a look at that.
Alright, so hopefully you guys can see properly there. I've angled you down a little bit compared to usual. But this is what we're going to do. So first off, actually, I'll do that. I checked the temperature. So before we went in, it was 17 degrees. Now it's 24.5. So that's actually gone up by quite an amount, a fair bit. And then we'll dip the pot in there. And as we pull it up, we'll press the stopwatch on. So we're aiming at 18 to 20 seconds. 18, 19, 20. So it's still going through probably just on time. So we might even want to put just a little bit more reducer in there. Let's see how we go. See if we can fix it. Get it from 18 to 20. There we go, 420 reducer. Just a splash in. See what that does. Without making a mess. It's gonna work. $17, $18, $19, $20. So it's on the 20. I reckon we try a little bit more reducer, and we'll get it like right in the middle, something like 19 seconds. Because it is a Japanese car, so we really don't want to go for that thick European finish on it. So let's reset it again. $17, $18, $19. That's probably right about there, to be honest. So look, I'm really glad that I did use it. I'm just going to put a dash more in. That's going to be pretty safe. So I'm actually surprised at how much more it took, how much more reducer it needed to get us there. I was expecting